You'll become the most popular individual in your friends group. You'll win a ton of fantasy football championships. And you'll last 3 times longer in bed. Things that will happen when you watch the fantasy headliners on YouTube. I guess the one that only really surprises me is number 1. Because you'll be winning so much, your friends will hate you. Well, it looks like I've become a little bit of a fortune teller. So you know what? Let's break down some players for the 2023 season, and I'm going to give you some prophecies on their fantasy outcomes. And I'm going to kick it off with my boy Trevor Lawrence down in Jacksonville because I want to go higher than 26.5 passing touchdowns for him in 2023. And if you don't know, Underdog has put up their season-long pick'ems for you to start jumping into right now. So it makes complete sense while I spit some fantasy football fire your way that I put their Underdog Pick'em right on the screen. But if you want to play along with some of these, make sure you sign up on Underdog with code word headliners, because if you do that and deposit at least $10, they're going to match your first deposit up to $100, and you're going to get our 2023 fantasy football draft guide for free. Normally the draft guide costs $21.99. All you got to do is deposit $10. That's over 50% off. So download the app or go to their website, code word headliners when you sign up, deposit that $10, and you'll get an email from us letting you know when you can access the draft guide. All right, but back to the analysis. Why do I think Trevor Lawrence is going over 26.5 touchdowns? Well, it's easy because his end of the season stats show that that's greatly within the realm of possibility. Because from weeks 10 through 18, when he really picked it up and started to break out, he threw 14 touchdowns in that span, or 1.8 touchdowns per game. If you take that and draw it out over the course of a 17-game season, that's 30 passing touchdowns. And I am willing to bet actual money that Trevor Lawrence takes an even bigger step forward this year and plays like that or better for the entire season. What about at the running back position? Let's talk Ramondre Stevenson, who I absolutely love this year. I'm going to go higher than the 925.5 rushing yards currently listed, because how in the world is he going to run for less yards than he did last season? He got 210 carries with Damian Harris there. There's nobody currently on the New England roster that is a huge threat to take him below 200 carries. He should get even more, so we should see easy 1,000 yards again. Not only that, but the offense should be better, allowing New England to stay on the field more and allowing for more opportunity and more open space for Stevenson to run. And over on Underdog, when you replace your ticket, you can't have 2 pick'ems from the same player, but I'm going to give you a bonus Ramondre Stevenson pick anyway. I'm going to go higher than the 6 rushing touchdowns currently listed. He had 5 last season, and we've already established the fact that A, he should get more carries, and B, he's going to be in a better offense, which should be able to move the ball down the field a lot better this season. But 2 years ago, when Harris was healthy for a full season and Stevenson was just a rookie, Harris had 46 red zone rushing attempts, which was 4th most in the league. So if the offense is able to get him into the red zone more often, we should see Ramondre be in that vicinity for red zone rushing attempts as well. And if he's getting more touches in the red zone, he's having more opportunities to score. Give me one more touchdown than what he scored on the ground in 2022. I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with this one, but I'm going lower than Devonte Smith's 1,000.5 receiving yards. This one has some legitimate math to back it up. Let's start with the end of the season though, because from weeks 11 through 18, that is where Devonte Smith did a majority of his damage. He averaged 9.4 targets and 6.1 receptions, while averaging 89.4 receiving yards over that span. But I don't think people really remember that is exactly when Dallas Goedert went down with his injury, missed multiple weeks, and still wasn't fully healthy when he came back. From weeks 1 through 10, when Dallas Goedert was fully healthy and on the field, it was a completely different story for Devonte Smith. During that time, he only averaged 6.8 targets per game and 5.1 receptions. But the kicker is he dropped all the way down to 53.4 receiving yards. And Dallas Goedert is healthy heading into 2023. So even if you give Devonte Smith a little credit and say, what happened at the beginning beginning of the season won't be an entire year, and bumped him up a little bit. If you take that stat line over the course of a 17-game schedule, you're still only looking at between 925 and 950 receiving yards. I've been trying to say this over and over. A.J. Brown will be the number one, but do not be surprised if Dallas Goedert is the number two on this Eagles team. Let's toss another wide receiver pick him up there, and I'm going to go Devonte Adams, and I'm going lower. Because right now it's set at 1,325.5 receiving yards. If he were to get that in 2023, it would be the fourth most receiving yards he's had in a season. And am I really going to take the higher on that, knowing that Jimmy Garoppolo is in line to be his starting quarterback right now? And if you want more details on why the Jimmy Garoppolo and Devonte Adams situation scares me, you got to make sure to get our draft guide, because I give an in-depth breakdown on Devonte Adams in that and why I am super worried about him this season. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna lock the lower end on this pick'em. Yo, why don't we toss in a tight end pick'em as well? And we're gonna go with Darren Waller. And right now his receiving yards are set at 750.5. I'm gonna hammer the higher on that one. And really, there's one reason, and I'm gonna break it down for you right now. Lock in with me, Headliner Nation. Let me make this simple for you. Who else is Daniel Jones throwing to? It really is that simple. I'm willing to go higher on the receiving yards right now for Darren Waller because I just don't trust any of the other wide receivers there. Whether or not they can stay healthy, whether or not they're alphas, whether or not they're going to be the main target. The number one in this offense very well could be Darren Waller, with targets and receiving yards and receptions being spread out across the rest of the group. Yeah, I'm okay locking in higher than 750.5 receiving yards, and the hope is that Daniel Jones and Darren Waller just get on the same page in training camp. Headliner Nation, I tried to make this one quick and dirty for you so you could get some knowledge on fantasy football, who we may be taking, who we may be avoiding, and what we're doing with them over in our Underdog Pick'ems. So let me know in the comments down below, what Underdog Pick'em are you most interested in and the one that you're placing money on the most? And of course, if you're new here, you gotta subscribe to the channel and hit that like button for me on the way out. Headliner Nation, I appreciate you all. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.